Star Wars The Last Jedi just came out, everybody. You saw my little teaser earlier. Welcome. Let's dive right into this movie review. It is directed by Rian Johnson. It was written by Rian Johnson as well. Stars Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Mark Hamill, and the full fun crew from pretty much The Force Awakens. We get Poe Dameron again, we get Snoke, we get it all. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to say this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it and you've been really good at avoiding spoilers somehow and you randomly stumble upon this weird video, stop. Don't go any further. I'm going to be talking a lot about all the, huge fun spoilers. This is not spoiler-free spoilers. Cannot be more clear. Don't want to ruin this. 5 seconds of silence for the idiots who are still here, who want these spoilers given to them. Okay, now that we got that over with, we can really have some fun here. So this film starts off, I'm just going to start off right from the beginning. You get the opening crawl, it's solid, the music comes up. I still get giddy when I just see the Lucas symbol, because that just, in my head, that just rings Star Wars right away. That's how I noticed for it as a kid when I see a trailer, so seeing that was a lot of fun. You get the opening crawl, it's classic. You get the downward pan, and you get right where we picked off. They're trying to get the Rebel Alliance and the fleet out. And I know a lot of people are saying, where's the Rebel fleet, and where's the rest of their stuff? But I don't think they remember that, the Rebel fleet was diminished. I mean, at the end of that, they had a lot of people, but I think they were all escaping. And like they said, they had a lot of them trapped out the Outer Rim, so I think they were trying to go to a new planet, yet they got derailed, and then they were, delayed somehow, and I think something else happened is what I'm saying. I know it says it starts right away, but I think something has to be explained there for that to be the case. So they're trying to escape the planet that they were just at. And the rebels are trying to get out, and Poe Dameron leads a strike on a dreadnought, and you get to see this awesome, huge ship come out. And I was watching IMAX 3D midnight showing last night, so I guess that may have helped a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm going to see a regular one later this week in non-3D and just compare the differences. I don't think there's a lot, honestly, but I don't know. They say there's some difference, but I don't think there is. So pretty much you get to see this huge dreadnought. I just see the vastness of it, and it's just awesome. You get to see bombers of the rebels that look more World War I, II-like, and they look very clunky and old, and they all end up, dying and shit. But they get to drop some bombs, and there's this sister with this half-moon shit, and then you get to see that her sister is actually Rose, which is a character later on that we meet. And then you kind of keep moving from there, and you actually, you get Snoke is kind of pissed at General Hux, but then Hux is kind of like, hey, dude, it's cool. I can actually track him through light speed, and that's like, what? So they're going to go through that shit. They're going to punch it, go 12 parsecs or whatever the fuck. They land at it, and then all of a sudden the rebel ships are fucked. Because Kylo Ren leads an attack force, and they have Snoke's personal flagship comes out, and it is fucking huge. You thought the dreadnought was big? This thing is just, it's like a city. It's just huge. And I don't know why, but maybe it's because of the sound or the IMAX or some shit. But the sound was just incredible. You just hear it coming. It just was a whoosh sound, and you could feel the impact. And I thought that sound was very kind of Christopher Nolan-y, and I don't know, it felt real, and I really appreciated that. And I know a lot of people have been hating on this film from a fan's point of view, but I just think that, I don't know, I really enjoyed where they went, because then they go right into where Rey meets Luke, and Luke is kind of, it's hilarious. He grabs the lightsaber and just throws it. He's just like, fuck you, right? And she hands it to him. He thought you'd say something, he just kind of looks at it, and he just throws it. He walks away, and he says, go away. And it's the funniest thing. And I know a lot of people may not like it because they think this adds negative portrayal to Luke's character throughout the film, but I just think that was a perfect intro. And I just think throughout it, I don't know. I know people aren't used to it, but it wasn't a Star Wars film, I guess, but it was a very good film with Star Wars characters, because there's this casino scene, and I get that that's a complaint a lot of people are going to have, but I just think that, they swap between the Luke Skywalker story and the casino story and the Rebel Alliance and the Empire very well. I think they kind of did that pretty well in The Force Awakens as well, actually. I know that's another movie that also gets a lot of hate, but I think that this one did a lot better, and I think that it was just intriguing. Okay, so then we move on to a huge spoiler here, so I'm not going to ruin it, but we're going to see Leia's force powers. She, a lot of people are comparing it to Mary Poppins, and I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm defending it a little bit because it's like, hey, she's old, and, you know, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. Love that woman. She is fucking amazing. Bless her soul. And, like, she just, like, we gotta see Leia Organa fucking fly through the motherfucking goddamn sky or space or whatever, and get to her goddamn ship and survive and live. So she's gonna be in the next movie. And, like, so she gotta use some force powers, and people just are ripping on it. It's kind of like, well, okay, I guess, but how else are they gonna let her use force powers? She's gonna whip out a lightsaber, do some shit? I mean, I'd love to see that, but I don't think they'd ever go in that direction. So I think that was the only way to sense, besides her, like, you know, telepathic conversations with Luke and her connection to Luke and their kind of, you know, communication. But I just think this is the only way to really show that she had some, you know, force ability. I think that they did that pretty well, actually. And I think that it gets hate, but I like it. I think Leia Organa and Poe Dameron's chemistry was also great. I think that he's kind of like the hothead and he gets a lot of shit. But I think that the writing for him and the, I think her name was Vice Admiral Halado, if I'm pronouncing that right, and she was just a bitch. They tried to make her look so nice at the end for when she risked her life, but it was just, she was a bitch. I didn't like her. I like Laura Dern as an actress, but her character was just written poorly, I think. So here's another major spoiler. Snoke dies. We think he dies. A lot of people are hating this because they're like, oh, Snoke was this huge bad guy. I'm actually kind of thrilled by this because I don't think people realize what has happened. This movie mirrors episode 3 far more than anybody else anticipated, and here's my case. And you guys may argue this with me, but here's my case. Mace Windu got the information that, you know, there's a big bad Sith Lord and that he was plotting everything, that he was going to destroy the Jedi. All the Jedi. So he went to try to make a step ahead. He tried to trick the Force. He tried to move ahead of it. And he tried to do something about it. He tried to make immediate action and do, you know, something for the greater good sort of thing and try to, you know, outsmart the smarter mind. And he bomb rushed him and he ends up dying. Now, in this case, Luke thought he had a chance to destroy the one thing that would destroy the Jedi, and that was Ben Solo. So he went, bomb rushed him, and then he tried to kill Ben Solo. Ben Solo survived, ends up destroying the temple, converting to the Knights of Ren, and ends up going full dark because he was going to be killed before he even got a choice to go dark. And see, that's what you got to see, is that Luke was going down that same path that Mace Windu kind of thought. And he was kind of thinking in this greater sort of, you know, bigger picture sort of thing, but he forgets that how important each life is. And that is just a little parallel I saw. I know it's a really huge reach, but I'm a huge fan of the prequels in every single film, so I like to connect them all like they are all connected. So that's just like one thing that I kind of see is maybe like, you know, fans could maybe like say, oh, hey, there are things that you can nitpick out of this and really connect back to the prequels, back to the originals, and not have too much hate. But it's going to take a couple of watches, and I know everyone gets their own opinion, but it's just like, have some fun, guys. It's Star Wars. The audience I was in was great. They were all laughing. They were all clapping. They were all, like, gasping when things happened. So I had a great time, and, you know, honestly, it was a great movie. It was better than The Force Awakens, and I think another huge spoiler was that we get to see Luke Skywalker do like a meditation thing where he does a lightsaber duel with Kylo. It's not really him, but it's a younger version of him, and you could tell by the beard, and you could tell by a couple of things. The lightsaber, first off, because Luke's lightsaber breaks, so Rey's probably going to have to make a new one. I also thought that Rey was going to get her hand cut off in one scene when she was fighting with Kylo and to get free from the guards after they killed Snoke, and I just thought that the guard was going to just slice right through her hand and she was going to lose it and show that she is a Skywalker, because they did this whole stupid thing where they said Rey's parents were just, you know, dirt poor people. But I think that may have been just Kylo Ren talking shit. I know a lot of people are just taking this seriously like it is what it is, but what if he's just talking shit? Because they have a really strong connection. I think they may pull the rug under you, and I think J.J. Abrams may listen to the fans and he may say that she is a Jinn. And I know a lot of people don't believe in that theory. But I think the fact that they killed Snoke and they're not doing the whole Plagueis thing, I think they may be able to slip it. Because I think her hair is starting to look like Qui-Gon Jinn. And that's the only reason. And their belief in the Force and the way that Luke teaches her to see the Force, I feel like that's something Jinn. And Jinn also dabbled in the dark side, and Rey also dabbles in the dark side, but sees that it's not what she's looking for, and comes back. And I think that's also something that Qui-Gon Jinn did. Jinn to a much larger extent and more detail and a lot better done. But I think Rey also, I don't know, I see similarity there as well. So other than that, the Yoda appearance was huge. We got a great conversation with Yoda. He did a great joke. He even burned the old text to show that Luke, the Jedi are flawed. Yes, I am the head, I was the Grand Master, and I told everyone to do it a certain way, and I've seen the world come to fall, and he's seen the Empire rise, and he's seen it all. So he says, yes, the Jedi did fuck up. But there will be more. And there will be better ones. And I think that Luke is the last Jedi, yes, because I don't think Rey will be a traditional Jedi. I think she's going to be what she wants to be. And that's going to be her version of a Jedi. And that's going to be a different version and a different public version of a Jedi, because the Jedi are extinct. And now that Luke is the last legend of the last quote-unquote Jedi, Rey can now go out and do what she wants after she defeats her nemesis, Kylo Ren, in the First Order. Now, is Snoke really dead is a huge question as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to bore you guys forever. But I think he is. I think because of this. I don't think a lot of people really broke down this scene. I'm going to watch the movie again. And I know a lot of people are going to hate me because I'm giving even more money to Disney, but I'm going to see it at least 2 or 3 times, so suck it. But when you break down that scene, you got to realize what Snoke has just done. He has the Rebel fleet right there. He's just destroyed the Galactic Republic. He knows they're not going to get any help, and he's about to destroy the Resistance and General Organa, who's like pretty much the beacon of hope. And that's a huge blow to anybody who's going to stand up to them, because that would be like, everybody's willing to fight up against them right now. Pretty much everyone else is watching on the sidelines and either paying money like that casino place and living the rich life and purchasing on both sides of the war, or they are poor and they are either in the war or just being played by the war and having their lives impacted by it directly every day. So I guess the real question is, what was going in Snoke's head in that moment? He had Rey, the Jedi, everything he wanted. He knew where Luke Skywalker was, so he was going to go kill the last of the Jedi. He knew where that was. He also knew that the Republic, like I said, was fucked because they blew up the Capitol. So the Senate and all the, political atmosphere is done with. The Resistance is done with. It's pretty much like, at the end of Endor. It's like, Palpatine kind of got cocky and kind of thought, hey, I got this in the bag. I'm going to even expose myself to Skywalker. He's not going to do anything, but then it was, his sidekick that did it. So he is kind of like Vader in that sense, because Kylo just waited. Kylo never spoke. Kylo never reacted. Kylo never did anything. His mindset, and I think Snoke overplayed the fact that he thought Kylo would want to kill Luke Skywalker and do that and get rid of the last Jedi. But all in Kylo's head was thinking of was a power play, because he had gotten his life threatened. He had gotten attacked. He is still kind of like Palpatine in a sense, because Mace Windu came up, like I said in that reference earlier, Mace Windu came and tried to kill him. Luke Skywalker came and tried to kill him. He now feels that he can go all the way into the dark side, but he's still a little conflicted, I think. But I think he is full dark, and I think he did that as a power play, because he really wanted to, dominate the world as you see it and control the First Order. My only question is why did he keep General Hux around? He could have easily killed him and gotten another general who more agrees with him and doesn't really talk over him and more just advises him smartly, because Hux seems to, because you saw him pull out that pistol and about to kill him. So I just think Snoke's head was in a different place when he got killed, and I think he was too cocky and arrogant, and I think that shows the weakness of villains at times. And I think that shows that Kylo is actually a smarter villain than more people give credit to, and he's actually one of the more important characters of this film, and Snoke is actually not. And the fans have actually hyped up Snoke. The writers from day one have said that Snoke is his own character. Fans have been making this speculation and connecting it, so I just want to say that for the record.